with people with knee pathology or pre- or post-surgery. It's a great way that is a little bit more stable than, say, if I had the feet in straps or even the feet on the bar. A little bit more stable, but a fantastic way to get a lot of hamstring work happening. So the idea is that you maintain your neutral body shape, and you're going to think of dragging the heels down, and as you bend the knees in and pull the knees in, you're going to think of dragging the heels along the floor to the sits bones, and then you're going to push the legs on out. So I would tend to exhale as I pull the strap in, really focusing on pulling down through the heels and pulling the heels towards the sits bones. Inhale as you push on out. Now we know in dynamic movement that when the back line is working from the Achilles tendon up through the hamstrings, then that continues to work right up through the deep glutes and in through the deep spinal muscles. At the same time as that whole longitudinal sling on the back working, it encourages good deep tummy tone. So this is a very functional type of movement, and it's giving a little bit of space to the knee. Now, if your client is pushing the knees out and pulling the knees in and there's a catch point, figure out where that catch point is and either only go to that point or don't go away from that. So, so maybe if you bring the knees in and you know that they're only good to go out a little bit and in a little bit, that's absolutely fine, right? There's no point doing something that, if the knee is catching over and over again, then that becomes the experience rather than having the experience through the leg. So even though in a fully functional leg, we would be able to go into full range, that might not be may not be the case with the body that you're working with. So you could either do short ones from in and out, or short ones from out to in, right? And you could do that on both. So then if you started out and pull in just to the point before the catch would happen, that's absolutely fine as well, right? And all of that is partly, when I've got somebody laying down like this and I'm working with them, this is information for me as a movement educator, right? So my client is getting some fantastic work, getting really strong through the back of the leg, strong through the tummy, but also I can see where their range is. That's super important. Now I'm going to try, and maybe this is appropriate, maybe it's not, to go up into a bridge. So there's a sense of pulling down through the heels and pulling the heels towards the sits bones with the legs straight. So I'm kind of plugging the leg into the hip socket from the back of the leg and then roll the hips on up. Stay there. I want you to continue to feel that you're pulling the heel in towards the sits bone, keeping the leg straight. Take a deep inhale at the top and then roll on down. So this could be your endurance tone, right? So we want to do dynamic movement in something, but then also endurance tone. So say we do 3 or 4 of these, and if your client is capable of doing that, we know that the hamstrings never just work by themselves, so at some stage, if it's appropriate for them, we want to try and add on some upper lip as well. So this is a great exercise where you could add in here, pop your hands on the outsides of the bar, take a deep inhale to prepare, and exhale, pull your arms straight down to your legs and press your hips to the ceiling. So they're going to meet halfway in between, and then inhale as you lower. So this has to be okay through the knee, depending on what stage the knee is at. Well, everybody is different, right? But sometimes this puts too much pressure through the back of the knee because sometimes the client just does not have the hamstring strength. So maybe the better exercise was the last one we did, and maybe this is something that we consider post-surgery down the track, right? But this is something that they're going to start to become familiar with just by doing the knees in, knees out. Make this your last one. And maybe for some extra endurance tone, you could do some little pulses of the bar. Sorry. Inhale, deep inhale. Exhale, deep exhale. Right? It's a lot of glutes wrapping around, a lot of hamstrings. Good. When you're ready, you can lower on down. Woo. Now let's pop your left foot out of there. Yeah. So your right hands down to your sides. Yeah. And now you could go up into a bridge. So roll up into a bridge. Think of plugging your leg into your socket, keeping the leg straight. Off you go. Once you're in your bridge, you can bend and straighten the knee. Good. And push away. Again, maybe this is appropriate, maybe it's not, but I'm just giving you some ideas that you could continue to challenge your client safely, getting them really strong for their surgery. So sometimes it would depend on, is that surgery happening to an athlete, or is that surgery happening to somebody in their later years, and it's just total degeneration of the knee, right? It's okay, even if they can just do one of these, that's okay. Yeah? And then roll on down. And let's swap one over. Great. Now on this side, so on the standing side, I think of not moving the heel, but I'm dragging the heel towards the sits bone. So before I even roll up, there is a connection through the hamstring. I do not cue just to switch the hamstring on. I definitely cue to get that dragging heel bone to sits bone. Right, to switch the hamstring on, and then you can go up and down. Good. So it's a relatively supportive way for somebody to try their bridging. And then maybe when they come back and they're heading back to their full life, you could do something like this without the support of this, right? But a lot of what I'm trying to create before they go to surgery is an understanding of the type of stuff that we're going to be doing post-surgery to get them back to the life that they want to live. And I think that it's really important for people to experience these different types of movement. A, for you or for us to understand better what clients are capable of and the dynamic nature of movement, but also for the client to understand that they're not going to kill themselves, right? Because a lot of the time when somebody has a pathology, so something that has been bothering them for a long time, chronic pain, or they're heading towards surgery, they've stopped moving altogether. And that becomes a very negative cycle and takes them down a very dark hole. They come to Pilates and they do something that is seemingly really fancy and really different, that is empowering our people to allow them to start to believe in their own abilities again. Beautiful. And roll on down. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And for most of them, so it'll only be like if he's really weak in that leg and he's not able to, so you really got to get that plugging of the heel towards the sits bone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if the hamstrings are really weak or if the quads are really weak, then he just pains them.
And that's the one.
Yeah. So then maybe he does need to bend the knee a little bit, but you have to be